Lawrence Lule Tindamanyire, an 80-year-old retiree who once served as an employee of the East African Community (EAC), is facing significant hardships as he seeks his pension from the government. Tindamanyire, a resident of Karama village in Bunono parish, Nyarushanje sub-county Rukungiri district, joined the EAC on July 10, 1967, working as a secretary. He later pursued an advanced course in secretarial work at the Commission's registrar office in Arusha, Tanzania, although he continued until the community's dissolution in 1977. Following the dissolution of the EAC, Tindamanyire and his fellow former employees were presented with two options: to apply for position within their home governments or to exit public service altogether. Due to the challenging war situation in Uganda at the time, coupled with his deteriorating health, Tindamanyire opted for retirement.
They told us that either you can, at your choice, you can either stay or you ask your bosses. By the time we see, the community was giving us some allowances, which were housing allowances and other allowances. So some of us, because of the situation by that time, it was not good. Saba, they had started fighting. They had killed Archbishop, Janani Rumu. In fact, Kampala was in trouble. Some of us, our friends were missing like needles. So when this Saba started, 78, almost 79, hitting a building like this, some decided to move on.
In November 2000, an out-of-court settlement was reached between the government of Uganda and former EAC employees, stipulating that the government would disperse at least Ugandan shillings 45 billion in retirement benefits to the group affected by the sudden termination of their contracts. This agreement marked the conclusion of a protracted legal battle that had been initiated by the former EAC employees in court in 1996. The government was expected to make this payment through the Ministry of Public Service. Per the agreement, the workers were to receive pension arrears dating back to July 1, 1977 up to the present, and subsequent monthly pensions as outlined in the Pension Act of the EAC Cap 11 and the Pensions Act 281, amended by Decree 6/1978.
Former workers of the community suing the Attorney General. That suit was consented on the 20th in October. Was consented by both the government and our lawyers. On October 2000. Then it is when they allowed the wage, I think, the wage for the 5 billion to pay all former workers, customs, income tax, meteorological, airways, harbors, and what.
After this agreement, Tindamanyire received Uganda shillings 8 million as pension arrears paid into installments that concluded in 2001. Regrettably, he had not received any further pension payments since then, despite numerous government requests for him to verify his particulars for the clearance of his monthly pension.
In 2002, I got some payment, the second payment.
Of how much?
2,500,000.
And then the first payment was how much?
6,030,000 something.
Okay. So since then, what followed? You've not received any money from government?
No, not at all.
Currently residing in his son's home after his own house sank into the ground due to heavy rainfall a year ago, Tindamanyire is appealing to the government to fulfill its commitment so that he can lead a dignified life in his old age.
Whether it is a combined, whether the period of service which they worked in the community, whether they add it on to the civil service or the Uganda government and they pay, I don't know. For me, what I am after is my period of service, which I rendered when I was in the former East African community only, not Uganda.
Tindamanyire's children expressed their deep concern about their father's plight, emphasizing that it is distressing to witness him struggle, especially given his years of service in a respected commission, which should have guaranteed him a comfortable retirement.
Bakamweta emirundi ebiri mu new vision y'okubanza ngo aza kwakira sente ze Kampala yashora mu new vision ya kabiri bakacencuramo bareba ngo bashemereye kuba aza kwakira n'abandi twaza Kampala ndi nawe na muzeyi twahika mu ofisi sente ze batugambira kuza kuzitungwa butari ngo kwa katanu financial ya itakazireki itakatayirimo na hati ya muzeyi itakatunga sente ze tayine cyo kurya ibintu giye byo nakabiguza habuguza Kampala baramutumaho na hati ya takatunga gani ubone gwigana.
When we get that money which we have been waiting for long, we are planning to build a house for him and to use that money to buy some sort of equipment which can help him in his age. You know now his age, but the money is nowhere to be seen.
Silva Baguma, the chairperson for pensioners in Kigezi Sub-Region, reports that his office routinely receives complaints from various former public workers who have not received their pensions. He calls for immediate attention to Tindamanyire's case, particularly as he is also grappling with a spinal ailment.
We handle people who have been working in the departments in Uganda, but often also we are approached by those who worked in the East African community. We have seen a lot of this. It's nice that now he can express himself whatever has happened. The other problem is that it seems the government has been willing to pay these people, but they have not been accessed. But the fact is clear. They are there, they are living, they are alive. They are alive, their documents are available. All identities show that they worked for the East African community, and the whole period from 1967 to the time when the East African community disintegrated, 1977. I really feel that this is a special case, a crippled person.
Remarkably, after nearly 45 years since the dissolution of the first East African Community EAC, 156 listed former employees from Uganda remain unaccounted for, preventing them from receiving their pensions and gratuity. The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for the East African Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, informed Parliament on March 12, 2023 that her ministry has set aside Uganda shillings 7 billion to pay former EAC employees, but this amount remains unclaimed as the 156 beneficiaries fail to come forward despite a list being advertised in the media in December of the previous year. A story by John Namara. Nobatinga Mhachi for Kigezi TV.